Like Sasha and her sons Den and Frankie, they've offered to go through their typical weekly supermarket food shop with me. So what I want to do is see how much of your weekly shopping is packaging and how much is actually food.
Yeah. Yes.
Sasha lugs home 8 bags of shopping on the bus. But I reckon once the packaging's off, she ended up with only 4 bags of food. Is that everything?
Yeah, that is definitely everything.
And what about the food?
There's not much of it, is there, when you look at the amount of the rubbish?
Does it worry you to see how much you throw away?
Well, yeah, it does actually, because they've obviously you've got to find somewhere to put all of this once they take it away, and there's just so much of it.
To find out what happens to Sasha's heap of rubbish, we went to her local recycling centre in Peterborough, where we met recycling guru Peter Robinson. It's like Christmas, really, isn't it? First, he helped us sort out Sasha's rubbish.
Last one. OK, well, what we'll do is we'll sort these into materials that can be recycled and materials that can't be recycled.
Peterborough has pretty good recycling facilities. They collect more than many other areas in the country. Yet even here, they can't recycle most of Sasha's unwanted packaging.
This is the pile of unrecyclable rubbish, and this is the pile that can be recycled.
So there's an awful lot of rubbish that just can't be recycled.
This is an example of something that can't currently be recycled. It's a meat container. Really, at the moment, it would be much better to avoid it altogether. If we take these trays here for as a classic example, if there's an unpackaged alternative, then that's much the way to go. Apples don't really need to be packaged like that.
I think we've all got to do more to avoid packaging that can't be recycled. Look at this heap. That's how much rubbish one family can chuck out in a lifetime. Without recycling, all that mess is buried in big holes in the ground, and it remains there for a very long time. So when it's all been dug into the ground, it just stays there forever? How long does it stay there?
Well, some of the materials we know that they will stay there for a very long time indeed. I mean, plastics, for example, can take more than 400 years to degrade. So that means 400 years. So when you put that into a landfill, you're leaving a very bad environmental legacy.
I believe we've got to learn to recycle more. But we also need to be educated out of our love of packaging. As a grandfather and uncle, I'm a frequent visitor to toy shops, and they're just full of packaging, as a road test of a few gifts easily demonstrates. And let's have a look at this. Well, here we are again with a fairly big box. In fact, a far too big a box. So we've got plastic. More packaging. There's the gift I'm going to give my niece. This is just yet more packaging, and you get the distinct feeling that she's going to be a bit disappointed. And I'm sure that this is where we all get our obsession with packaging. We get educated here that big is wonderful, and this is the way it all ought to be. And sadly, it all tends to come down to this, which could have gone on a little hanger. This is something I can get into without a real good look. Right. I mean, this is just a nightmare for parents, you know. I mean, you know, I'm a granddad now, so I don't worry quite so much about it. But, you know, just trying to help children into all this. I mean, this is where it all gets out of hand, doesn't it? Little plastic things on little plastic things. This is ridiculous. Can you imagine this was Christmas morning? Actually, there comes a stage where you just want to give up. Now, this little sweetie, on the other hand, sends out all the right messages. Just one single tag, no plastic, no box. Absolutely beautiful, very, very appealing. In fact, I'd love to buy this for my granddaughter. Just goes to prove you don't need all this excessive packaging, and you can educate children in a much better way. We all need to cut out packaging, and that's what I'm striving to do in my business. But I need you, as customers, to reject packaging too. Excuse me, we'll give you this nice bag if we can take all your packaging away. I took my campaign to the streets. offering to swap people's packaging for a reusable bag. You give me the packaging and I'll give you this bag to put it all in.
No.
Do you think that's excessive on the shirts?
It keeps the shirts clean.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to take it out and put... No.
Not today, honestly.
Not today?
But it'll get reused, I promise you.
All right, that's okay
It'll
then.
get reused until it's soggy and wet.
Yeah.
Then she'll plant it and the tree will grow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I was amazed at the resistance I encountered. Britain really is a nation of packaging junkies. But with a little willpower and a cool-headed look at the costs, I think I can persuade you to detox and cut the wrap. You give me all your packaging and I give you this bag. Overpackaging is wasteful, but sometimes we as consumers have very little choice about it. Take catering. I think all those individual sachets and cartons that restaurants and cafes insist on serving milk, sugar and sauces in are all totally unnecessary. What's wrong with a milk jug, sugar bowl and sauce bottle on the tables? I've set up a little experiment to discover just how wasteful these individual portions are. First, take one empty ketchup bottle, one milk container and mayonnaise jar. Then add a crack team of helpers. Red team here then, yellow team by the white, blue team over here by the blue. Okay, what I'm really interested in is how many packets it takes to fill one of those jars and see just how much waste we get. Come on, let's go on! All these large containers can be recycled, but the sachets and pots go straight to landfill and stay there for hundreds of years. Come on, come on, come on! The only way to stop adding these sachets and pots to the mountain of packaging waste is to exercise your consumer power. Ask for your milk in a jug, your sugar in a bowl, and if they say no, do what I do and drink it black. Milk has won. The cafe will soon get the message. I believe they're creating a mountain of waste that we're all paying for. Look at all this waste. How much was it? What have we got?
103.
103. And how about you, Milk? What was yours?
140.
Even more. How many was yours?
180.
It's an awful lot of stuff going to the rubbish bin and into the landfill. It's just a load of rubbish. It's in the supermarkets, where most of us do our everyday shopping, that it's especially hard to avoid packaged products. Supermarkets say packaging helps protect the products, prevent food waste, and is useful in giving information to the customer. But at what long-term cost to the environment? When everybody at home is talking about global warming every minute,